What's up, guys? Today we're talking basketball. Pete and I were fortunate enough to be able to sit down with Wes Matthews Sr. If you're from the Bridgeport area or any of the surrounding cities, or if you're just a basketball fan in general, you may already know who Wes Matthews
Oh, the
is.
competition in Bridgeport was stifling, man. Uh,
John Bad.
20 years ago, we had every college coach in America coming through Bridgeport. With myself at Hardin and Charles Smith at Hardin and Bagley at Hardin. And you had who else you had? You had Bobby Doolin out of Milford. You had a lot of great basketball players running through here. Frank Olenek, who went to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Barry McLeod was another one that went to Notre Dame. John Garris, who ended up playing college basketball. You can go Tyrone Kingwood. You can just go down the list, man. I mean, everybody used to go to New York, but then they say, hey, man, it's a town down about 30, 40 minutes away. You got some ballers down here. Then you go to New Haven, you got John Williamson, you got Super John, you got his son, you got Sly Williams. I mean, basketball was like, we used to ball, man. I mean, so, you know, my thing was once I was able to handle and play with the older guys and handle my own in Connecticut, I had to go to the city and see what it was really about because, the city, of course, the mecca of basketball. You got New York playgrounds. They got playgrounds like we got nail salons on every corner. There's a place to play on every corner. So, it was quite intriguing, but it also made you stronger. Even through the midst of our drug-infested times, our murderous times, and some of our least fortunate times of our city's history. But in that, there were some real valuable people and valuable pieces. Not just athletes, baseball players, Tony Elliott, football player, Kenny Spears, baseball player. They'll get Tyrone Kingwood, both sports. He played baseball and basketball. So, we had some pretty prominent people that ran through this small little town.
Got you. And when you started going to New York, when you saw the competition, did you think, wow, this ain't anything different? Like, I feel comfortable playing against these New Yorkers? Did it feel?
It was a lot different down there.
Yeah.
New York was like
The Mecca, of course.
the
Yeah.
Mecca, of course, and no harm, no foul, all that crying stuff. Get out of here. You had to bring it because you're talking about the Kenny Andersons, the Kenny Smiths, the Albert Kings, the Bernard Kings, the Jeff Houstons, the World B. Freeze of the world. You're talking Sam Worth, and you're talking ballers, man.
Yeah.
You got Clyde Frazier running around. You got the Knicks running around. So, you gotta, if you get in the gym with them dudes, you gotta bring your A game. So, it was, that was a treat about this little small area. A lot of people didn't understand that we can go to New York and find a great basketball game or a real good game or play in a good league. You can go to Mount Vernon, where they had Gus Williams, Ray Williams, some of the classics, Scooter McCray, Rodney McCray, some great basketball players there. These are all guys that end up going pro.
Yeah.
So, you could go in that caliber between a 45-mile radius and find some of the best basketball in America. I mean, you didn't have to go to California or somewhere far. I mean, you just get on a train in Metro North, pick a stop, and just go play ball.
That's so funny.
I mean, you could go on and on. The people that didn't make it, Aldo Samuels, who was an All-American out of high school, I had to play with it. I mean, this town was loaded. I mean, you can find anybody on any given day or any park from the east side to the west end, to the north end, to the south end, and we're all getting it in.
Like
Because,
Check Rock.
yeah, because that was us. And then along with that, we had the inside with great colleges. I mean, you got UB, which was loaded with all locals.
Mm-hmm.
You had Fairfield U that was loaded. You had Sacred Heart that was up and coming and still loaded. They just won a Division II back then that was full of Bridgeport kids and New Haven and Stanford kids. So we can go anywhere and find a game. And that was the beauty of it. You can go on college campuses and get a rock, or you can go into any high school, get a rock, or if you just want to wait the best part of it was the summer. Then when summer leagues came, I mean, it's like the who's who of basketball is on one park. I mean, you can go up to Waterbury and play in Swisher and Summer Sound.
Don't leave all day.
I mean, let's go. I mean, we obviously would put in 8-10 hours a day. I mean,
No breaks, just
no
water.
breaks. Let's get
Just
from
water.
eat, grab a burger, stop at Dutch's or McDonald's, get on the next ride, go 40 minutes to Waterbury, rock Waterbury, chill out for a couple hours, come back, hit the village with the lights on. You know, we gonna get it in. Our parents, they knew where we were at. They just find us on the basketball court. We had time for all that other stuff. What I see going on with the colleges in the Connecticut area, other than UConn, is that their fan base has diminished due to the fact that Fairfield U, Sacred Heart, UB, Post, they all don't. There's no Connecticut kid on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at each one of those rosters, there's not a Connecticut kid.
It's all New York, New
So
Jersey.
who's going to come?
Right.
I mean, Connecticut's not going to support somebody that they don't know.
Right.
Until you win them over and they love you and they've seen you a few times. Okay, now they support you. But first of all, what I think went well on Fairfield U, they left the college campus. They should have always stayed at Alumni
Right, they
Hall.
went down
They
to
should have
Harbor
stayed down.
Yard there.
You try to move down to Harbor Yard, which is 20 minutes away. Fairfield and Bridgeport don't know each other that well.
Right.
Even though we border each other, we don't know each other that well,
Right.
especially on the basketball level. Now, if Fairfield U had 4 or 5 Bridgeport kids or 4 or 5 college kids from the state of Connecticut, then the Connecticut people would back them in their growing fan base.
Right.
Again, colleges were always sponsored and supported by your local kids.
Right.
Fairfield Alumni Hall was packed with who? Fairfield alumni kids, because all they do is walk on campus, go right there. Now these kids got to get in the car and go all the way 20 minutes to Bridgeport to an unknown area.
Yeah.
They're not doing it.
Right.
So that's where they lost that. Same thing when I go, I still support Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart doesn't have nobody for the rosters until 2 years ago when they had Quincy McKnight.
Yeah.
Quincy picked up but you gotta have people. You gotta have people that has recognition in the city or the state that are no basketball people, and people say, "Okay, let's go see him now with this NBA playoff." KD's playing tremendous.
So efficient.
I mean, he's
So efficient.
What, he had like 45 again last night?
yeah. I mean, he's playing.
Yeah, he started off bad.
Started off cold.
He's playing lights out basketball.
Yeah.
So now we just gotta get Steph and Clay to come to the party, and then Draymond and then wake up. I mean,
They're showing.
if you watched the game last night, there was total calm. They were getting beat the whole game. Total calm. They just said, keep going, stay with your game plan, stick, move, pass, cut, run the pick and roll, knock it down, get it to KD, get out the way, score. Next thing you know, that thing was tied. Now Houston's like, oh hell,
Yeah.
where did this come from?
Yeah.
But if you watch them, they did not break any kind of demeanor. They just stayed the same course, because they knew it was going to come. That's how long they've been doing it. They knew it was going to come, and they just trusted what they were doing. They trusted, and here it comes. All of a sudden, it's a tie game. Bang!
Yeah, you're down 12. Don't change anything. Now it's a tie game.
And
Like
now you
Six layups.
minus Steph Curry not having his best game, minus Clay not shooting it well, minus Draymond didn't shoot it that well, but they were right there. That's a scary situation, because if the other three get hot,
Blowout.
Yeah.
jump all night. That might be they going back 3-1.
Blow
everyone up by
speaking
40
about.
if all three of those guys are
So,
hot.
and then, Dame's doing a great job keeping Portland alive over there. The Joker's playing well, keep Denver alive
Another
over
European
there.
guy. Yeah.
Another European. So, it's this is basketball at its best right now.
Elijah and I would like to thank Wes Matthews Sr. for taking the time to walk us through the history of Bridgeport sports, as well as educating us on some current NBA playoffs. We hope you all enjoyed. We hope to catch you next time here on the Housatonic Sports Network.